Hold on just a moment. Before you automatically shoo your feline companion off your favorite chair once more, take a moment to contemplate things from their unique perspective. For you, it is about reclaiming your rightful spot after enduring a long and hard day. But for your cat, the situation might be perceived as an act of inexplicable betrayal. Does that assessment sound a bit dramatic, perhaps even overly sentimental? It very well might. But this quiet, almost imperceptible daily battle for territory, one that is playing out in millions of living rooms all over the wide world, is far more significant than just a cute domestic scene. It is, in reality, a head-on collision between two distinct civilizations, the human and the feline, each one operating according to its very own distinct and often conflicting set of rules. We humans tend to think we are simply asking them to move over just a little bit. They, on the other hand, perceive the most important, most reliable ally in their entire existence, their very source of warmth, consistent food and unwavering security, as suddenly transforming into a perceived threat, callously displacing them from their cherished island of stability. In this invisible war, which is waged on a daily basis, much more is at stake than simply the right to occupy a soft blanket or a comfortable cushion. What is truly hanging in the balance is something far more precious: trust. A fragile currency that is, unfortunately, easily lost and almost impossibly difficult to regain once it is gone. So, what really goes on inside a cat's intelligent head when we disrupt their carefully constructed peace? Let us delve into the reasons why what seems like a perfectly harmless act to us can potentially and permanently damage your relationship with your beloved pet. In order to truly understand feline logic, we need to completely abandon our human concepts, such as ownership or possession. When a cat gracefully jumps onto your sofa, it is not attempting to claim it in the human sense of the word. It is, in fact, doing something that is far more crucial to its survival and well-being. It is actively expanding its security map. Imagine, if you will, a world where you navigate primarily by scent, rather than by sight. For a cat, your entire home is an intricate, multi-layered map that is composed of countless aromas and subtle scents. And the most important markers on that map are, without a doubt, its very own. When a cat rubs its cheeks or flanks affectionately against a table leg, the corner of the sofa, or even your legs, it is not simply being affectionate or seeking attention. It is actively marking its territory in a way that is essential to its sense of security. Special glands located on their face, paws, and tail secrete pheromones, which are unique chemical signatures that are completely invisible to us humans but are as crystal clear as a bright summer day to them. Each and every one of these markings is a carefully crafted message left for itself: I was here. It is safe here. This is my territory, and I am comfortable here. These scents, taken together, create a bubble of confidence and assurance. The sofa, the chair, the rug, these are not simply inanimate pieces of furniture to them. They are strategic outposts, strongholds that are infused with its personal scent of tranquility and safety. Now, picture this scenario in your mind. You pick up your unsuspecting cat and unceremoniously banish it from its perceived safe island. In its world, this is the equivalent of someone suddenly erasing key landmarks from your intricate navigation map in the very middle of an unfamiliar and potentially hostile city. You are not just simply asking it to move over, you are, in essence, destroying its carefully constructed sense of stability and predictability. You are not merely invading its property, but its personal security system, making the defenseless animal feel incredibly vulnerable in a place where it should, by all rights, feel completely protected and safe. If the armchair is the very center of a safe and secure territory, then the doorway of a room is its boundary, its customs checkpoint, so to speak. And here, another drama of misunderstanding frequently unfolds. You have most likely experienced this puzzling phenomenon: a cat approaches a doorway and then freezes completely. It simply stands or sits, gazing thoughtfully into the apparent void, effectively blocking your passage. The first thought that crosses a human's mind is often something along the lines of, it is spacing out again. Did it forget where it was going? Or is it just deliberately doing this to annoy me and impede my progress? But there is absolutely no laziness or spite involved in this seemingly odd behavior. What we are actually witnessing is a highly trained security specialist hard at work. For a cat, a doorway is far more than just a simple transition from one room to another. It is a boundary between familiar, vetted territory and a brand new space that needs to be carefully assessed for potential dangers. The domestic feline, upon pausing at the threshold of a doorway, initiates a rather complex and intricate scanning process. Its ears, those remarkably sensitive appendages, function much like sophisticated radar systems, diligently picking up even the slightest rustle or murmur emanating from within the confines of the new room. Its nose, an equally discerning instrument, meticulously analyzes the subtle air currents, searching for any unfamiliar or potentially alarming sense that might linger within. Its eyes, ever vigilant, carefully evaluate the immediate surroundings, searching for any hint of movement and identifying potential hiding places, should the need arise. Essentially, the cat is conducting a rapid and thorough risk assessment before venturing into what it perceives as uncharted territory. This behavior stems from an ancient instinct, one that played a crucial role in the survival of its wild ancestors, enabling them to avoid encounters with larger, more formidable predators. And what is it that we, as humans, often do in response to this cautious behavior? We often attempt to nudge it forward with our foot, or even attempt to push it through the doorway, thereby disrupting this sacred and essential ritual. For the cat, this is akin to someone shoving a bomb disposal expert, who is carefully listening for the telltale ticking of a potentially dangerous mechanism, forward with the impatient and insensitive words, "Just go already." We are not simply inconveniencing the creature, we are forcibly pushing it into a space that its brain has not yet fully assessed and marked as safe, and in doing so, we ourselves become a source of significant stress and unpredictability. Now that we understand that the sofa can be perceived as a security map and the doorway as a border patrol checkpoint, let us consider how these two elements interact. What transpires within the complex mind of a cat when we, its primary benefactor and provider, repeatedly violate these invisible, yet deeply important, rules? Cats do not think in terms of abstract morality as humans do. They possess no inherent concept of fairness or right as we understand it. Their world is built upon a simpler, more fundamental principle, the principle of consistency and predictability. The owner, in their feline perception, is the very center of their universe. It is the being most closely associated with the most positive and desirable things: food, warmth, safety, and affection. A human, in essence, is a living beacon, a constant signal that everything is, and will continue to be okay. And now, this very beacon, the source of all comfort and security, begins to behave in an irrational and perplexing manner. The being that should be protecting them becomes a source of threat. It rudely kicks them off their marked and designated safe territory. It forcibly pushes them beyond unassessed and potentially dangerous boundaries. In feline logic, this represents a significant system failure. The main guarantor of stability becomes unpredictable and unreliable. Today, it is petting them and showering them with affection. Tomorrow, it is displacing them and causing them stress. Today, it is feeding them and providing for their needs. Tomorrow, it is causing them anxiety and fear. This inconsistency undermines their basic trust. The animal no longer understands what to expect from us, the beings they rely upon for their very survival. This is what we might, in human terms, call betrayal in their language. It does not think, "My owner is bad." It thinks, "The world around me has become chaotic and dangerous, and the source of this danger is the one I trusted most." As a result, the cat might start avoiding us, seeking secluded hiding places, exhibiting signs of aggression, or displaying other manifestations of anxiety. It is not seeking revenge or plotting retribution. It is simply trying to survive in a world that has suddenly ceased to be understandable and safe for it. So, we have established that using force and coercion destroys trust and damages the bond between human and feline. But what does one do if one truly needs to reclaim one's favorite spot on the chair or sofa? The answer is simple. Instead of resorting to the language of force, we need to master the art of feline diplomacy. Your goal is not to drive the animal away, but to make it want to leave on its own accord, and ideally to do so happily and contentedly. This is often easier than it initially sounds. Here are a few proven diplomatic techniques that can be employed to achieve this harmonious coexistence, an offer they simply cannot refuse. This is the key principle underlying successful feline diplomacy. If you require a specific spot, make another spot even more appealing. Prepare a plan B in advance. Place a soft blanket that your cat particularly loves on the sofa next to your chair, or bring in its favorite cardboard box, a known sanctuary of comfort and security. Then, instead of shooing it away or attempting to forcibly remove it, call it gently and show it the new, prepared spot. You can use a lure, such as a favorite treat or toy, to entice it to investigate the new location. The message the cat receives changes dramatically. I am not being evicted from a comfortable spot, I am being invited to an even better place. My human cares about me and is looking out for my best interests. Creating a positive ritual. Felines, those creatures of captivating independence, are remarkably receptive to training when such training is rooted in the gentle art of positive reinforcement. The key lies in establishing a clear, consistent signal to gently encourage your feline companion to relinquish a chosen perch. This conditional signal could manifest as a subtle snap of the fingers, or perhaps a softly spoken word. Something simple like place or come here. The absolute essential element is unwavering consistency. The signal must always remain the same. Imagine, if you will, that you are presenting this carefully chosen signal. Simultaneously, you point towards the alternative preferred location for your cat to settle. The instant, and I mean the very instant, that your cat complies with your request, shower it with immediate rewards. These rewards can take the form of enthusiastic praise, gentle petting, or perhaps a delectable treat. Over time, as days turn into weeks and weeks into months, the animal will gradually begin to associate the specific sound not with the unpleasant stress of being evicted from its comfortable spot, but rather with a pleasant, predictable ritual, and the anticipation of the forthcoming pleasure, the praise, the petting, or the coveted treat. Both of these methods, though seemingly simple, are underpinned by the same fundamental goal: to transform what could potentially become a conflict situation into a positive and harmonious interaction. You, the human, cease to be perceived by the cat as an unpredictable and sometimes perplexing force of nature, and instead transform into an understandable, honest partner, an individual with whom reasoned communication is consistently possible. Ultimately, the story of the armchair, that seemingly mundane domestic drama, is far more than simply a lesson in animal psychology. It serves as a powerful and resonant metaphor for our broader relationship with the intricate world that surrounds us. We as humans are accustomed to thinking of ourselves as owners and masters, not only within the confines of our own homes, but also more expansively, upon the entirety of the planet. We often act based solely on our own convenience and immediate desires, frequently without giving due consideration to how our actions might affect those who are weaker than us, or those who, for whatever reason, are unable to express their disagreement or discontent in words. The cat, comfortably ensconced in its chosen chair, serves as a small, furry, yet profoundly important reminder that the world in its vastness and complexity does not solely revolve around us. Understanding the cat's invisible boundaries, respecting its established rituals, and learning to interpret its unique language, is the essential first step towards a fundamental paradigm shift in our thinking. It represents a move away from the mindset of an all-powerful owner, who believes they can afford to do anything they please, towards the more enlightened mindset of a thoughtful neighbor, wise, attentive, and deeply empathetic. By learning to negotiate with a cat, rather than simply issuing commands and expecting unquestioning obedience, we cultivate a quality that humanity needs now more than ever before: the invaluable ability to see the world through the eyes of another being. We become not just better owners to our cherished pets, but more importantly, we become better people, more compassionate and understanding in all our interactions. And then, almost magically, our home transforms into something far more profound than just an apartment, a house, or a dwelling. It becomes a sacred space of true trust and genuine harmony, where both human and cat feel not like object and owner, but like valued members of one loving family, living together in a shared, safe, and endlessly happy territory.